A dripping faucet can be so annoying. Drip, drip, drip. The sound can be maddening, echoing through the quiet of your home, especially at night when everything else is silent. It's like a tiny hammer tapping away at your peace of mind. It can keep you up at night. You toss and turn, trying to ignore it, but the persistent drip seems to get louder and louder. You might even find yourself getting up to try and tighten the faucet, hoping to stop the noise. But did you know it's also wasting water? Every drop adds up. Over time, a single dripping faucet can waste gallons of water. Imagine pouring glass after glass of water down the drain for no reason. It's not just an annoyance, it's a significant waste of a precious resource. And that means you're wasting money too. Each drop that goes down the drain is like throwing away a tiny bit of your hard-earned cash. Your water bill can skyrocket because of something as simple as a leaky faucet. It's like having a small hole in your wallet that you don't even notice until it's too late. The good news is, fixing a dripping faucet is easier than you think. You don't need to be a professional plumber to handle it. With a few basic tools and a little bit of patience, you can stop the drip and save both water and money. You can do it yourself and save money. There's a great sense of satisfaction that comes from fixing something with your own hands. Plus, you'll be doing your part to conserve water and reduce your utility bills. It's a great feeling to fix something in your home. Let's get started. Imagine the pride you'll feel when you turn that faucet handle and hear nothing. No more drip, 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 just silence and the knowledge that you fixed it yourself. In this guide, I'm going to walk you through each step. We'll cover everything from identifying the type of faucet you have to the tools you'll need and the exact steps to take to fix the leak. Don't worry if you've never done this before. I'll make it easy to follow. We'll make it so simple, anyone can do it. Whether you're a seasoned DIY enthusiast or a complete beginner, you'll find this guide helpful. By the end, you'll have the confidence to tackle not just this repair, but other small fixes around your home. So grab your tools and let's fix that leaky faucet. You'll need a few basic items: a wrench, some plumber's tape, and possibly a replacement washer or cartridge, depending on your faucet type. Don't worry, we'll go through it all step by step. Let's get started and put an end to that annoying drip once and for all. Before we start, let's gather our tools. Having everything you need at your fingertips will make the job go smoothly and efficiently. Imagine you're a chef preparing for a big meal. You wouldn't start cooking without all your ingredients laid out, right? The same principle applies here. It's like getting ready to bake a cake. You want to make sure you have all the right tools and parts before you begin. This way, you won't have to stop midway to search for something you forgot. You want all your ingredients ready. Here's what you'll need. A well-prepared workspace is key to a successful repair. Let's go through the essential tools and materials one by one. A wrench. This helps us loosen and tighten parts. It's a versatile tool that will be your best friend during this repair. Make sure it's adjustable to fit different sizes of nuts and bolts. A screwdriver. Look for a flathead and a Phillips head just in case. These will help you remove screws and other fasteners. Having both types ensures you're prepared for any kind of screw you might encounter. Replacement parts. We'll talk about these more later, but it's good to have them ready. These could include washers, O-rings, and cartridges. Having these on hand will save you a trip to the hardware store in the middle of your project. An old towel. This is to protect your sink and catch any spills. It's a simple but crucial step to keep your workspace clean and prevent any water damage. See? Simple tools for a simple fix. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment to get the job done. Just these basic tools will suffice for most faucet repairs. Now let's move on to the most important step. Safety first. Always wear safety gloves and goggles to protect yourself from any sharp edges or debris. Safety should never be an afterthought. It's the foundation of any successful DIY project. With these tools and safety measures in place, you're ready to tackle that faucet repair with confidence. Before we touch anything, we need to make sure the water is off. We don't want any surprises, right? Look under your sink. You'll see two valves, one is for hot water and one is for cold. Turn both of them clockwise until they are completely closed. Now, turn on your faucet to make sure the water is really off. No more dripping? Perfect. Let's get fixing. Now the real fun begins. Taking apart your faucet might seem daunting, but with a little patience and the right tools, it can be a rewarding experience. Plus, you'll save money by not having to call a plumber. We're going to take apart the faucet step by step. This process will help you understand how your faucet works and make it easier to fix any issues in the future. Don't worry, it's like a puzzle, and we'll put it back together. Each piece has its place, and with a bit of care, you'll have it reassembled in no time. First, let's protect our sink. This is an important step to ensure that we don't damage the sink or lose any small parts. Lay down that old towel we talked about. The towel will act as a cushion and catch any small parts that might fall during the disassembly. This will catch any small parts and keep your sink from getting scratched. It's a simple precaution that can save you a lot of hassle later on. Now, look closely at your faucet. Familiarize yourself with its components. This will make it easier to reassemble later. See that small cap on top? This cap covers the screw that holds the handle in place. It might be a different color, like red or blue. These caps are often color-coded to indicate hot and cold water. Carefully pry it off with your screwdriver. Be gentle to avoid scratching the finish or damaging the cap. Underneath, you'll find a screw. This screw is what holds the handle in place. Loosen this screw with your screwdriver, and the handle will come right off. Once the handle is removed, you'll have access to the inner workings of the faucet. This is where you can identify any worn-out parts that might need replacing. Remember to keep all the parts you remove in a safe place, so you don't lose anything. Taking your time and being methodical will make the reassembly process much smoother. And there you have it, the first steps to taking apart your faucet. With these basics, you're well on your way to becoming a DIY plumbing pro. Section 5. Identifying the culprit. Finding the leaky part. With the handle removed, you can see the inner workings of your faucet. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it looks. The most common culprit for a leaky faucet is a worn-out washer or O-ring. These are small rubber parts that create a seal to prevent leaks. Carefully remove the nut or packing nut holding the valve stem in place. This will allow you to access the washer or O-ring. Section 6. Replacing the worn-out part. Once you've found the worn-out washer or O-ring, it's time to replace it. Take the old one with you to the hardware store. This way, you can find an exact match. Installing the new part is as easy as taking out the old one. Just put it in the same place and make sure it sits nice and snug. Section 7. Putting it all back together. Now for the fun part, putting it all back together. It's like solving the second half of the puzzle. Carefully screw the packing nut or retaining nut back on. Don't over-tighten it, as this can damage the faucet. Place the handle back onto the valve stem and secure it with the screw you removed earlier. Finally, snap the decorative cap back into place on top of the handle. Testing. Is the drip gone? Okay, the moment of truth. Slowly turn the water supply back on under the sink. First the cold, then the hot. Now turn on your faucet and check for leaks. No more dripping? You did it! If you still hear that pesky drip, don't worry. Sometimes it takes a little adjusting. Just double check that all the parts are tight and in the right place. You did it! Celebrating your DIY success. Congratulations! You've successfully fixed your dripping faucet all by yourself. It wasn't that hard, was it? Not only have you saved water and money, but you've also gained the satisfaction of knowing you can tackle those little home repairs. Now go ahead and reward yourself with a slice of pie. You deserve it. When to call in the pros. Sometimes, even with the best intentions, DIY projects don't go as planned. If you encounter a particularly stubborn faucet or aren't comfortable with the steps involved, it's perfectly okay to call in a professional plumber. They have the experience and expertise to quickly diagnose and fix any plumbing issue, ensuring your faucet is back in tip-top shape. The joys of a fixed faucet and a happy home. Fixing a dripping faucet might seem like a small victory, but it's these little things that contribute to a happy and well-maintained home. No more annoying drips, no more wasted water, and the satisfaction of knowing you did it yourself. That's something to be proud of. So go on, embrace your inner DIYer, and tackle those home improvement projects with confidence. You never know what you might be capable of.